In the high-pressure environment of The Voice Season 27 playoffs, when dreams are built and hearts are bared, Olivia Kuper Harris gave a performance that reverberated far beyond the confines of the stage. Her performance of the profoundly introspective song, "What Was I Made For?" by Billie Eilish was more than just a vocal showcase. It was a moment that exposed her soul, which captured the crowd, the coaches, and the viewers at home. Harris was able to transform the song into a personal narrative by utilizing her characteristic jazz-infused tone and emotional depth. This earned her accolades from coach John Legend, who observed that every note had intention and beauty and musicality. This performance, which was broadcast on May 5, 2025, was a demonstration of Harris' artistic prowess and her capacity to connect with people on a level that is genuinely human. Harris, a vocalist who was born in Dallas and is now located in Los Angeles, has been a standout ever since her blind audition. Her silky version of Doris Day's "Dream a Little Dream of Me" won chair turns from legend Adam Levine and Kelsey Ballerini. Harris is currently 34 years old. Her progression in the competition has been characterized by an unwavering dedication to her one-of-a-kind style, which combines jazz, soul, and pop music, with an air of sophistication that distinguishes her from the other competitors. During the playoffs, when there were only 2 spots available for each team to go to the live shows, Harris was aware that she needed to give something that cannot be forgotten. Her selection of Eilish's song from the soundtrack of Barbie, which won an Academy Award, was not only audacious, but also profoundly personal. This pick exemplifies her expertise in selecting material that speaks to her on a fundamental level. The song, "What Was I Made For?" is one that encourages vulnerability because of its unadorned sound and introspective lyrics, which leave no room for concealment from the listener. The song, which was written by Eilish and her brother Phineas, delves into topics such as identity and purpose, which are concerns that are generally relevant, but in a way that seems intensely personal. When Harris wrote the song, she saw it as an opportunity to communicate her personal journey of self-discovery through music and to peel back layers of her own identity. As soon as she went onto the stage of The Voice, the gravity of the situation became immediately apparent. Because the playoffs were pre-recorded and there was no live audience voting, the choice was left entirely in Legend's hands, which increased the amount of pressure that he was under. Since the very first notes, Harris' performance has been a shining example of self-control and purposeful performance. The fragility of the song was expressed by her voice, which was often compared to the voices of legends such as Ella Fitzgerald and Amy Winehouse. Her voice held a subtle tremor, due to the fact that she leaned into the jazzy undertones that Legend had appreciated since her audition. She was able to infuse Eilish's delicate song with a warmth that seemed like a whispered confession. The stage lighting, which was subdued, complemented the introspective mood of the song, casting Harris in a glow that appeared to come from within. Her wording was purposeful, and by the time she sang, "I used to float, now I just fall down," each syllable landed with the wave experience that she had actually lived through. The ability of Harris to strike a balance between technical proficiency and emotional passion was the defining characteristic of her astounding performance. Legend said that her performance was stunning, a statement that was shared by followers on social media, who referred to it as A grade and pitch perfect. From the whispered verses to the soaring bridge, where she allowed her voice to swell without losing its intimacy, her command of the song was clear in the way that she negotiated the dynamic adjustments that occurred throughout the song. However, it was the moments of vulnerability that made the performance feel like a conversation with the audience. These moments included minor cracks in her tone and a lingering pause before she asked, "What was I made for?" Not only was Harris singing, but she was also searching, asking questions, and urging everyone to join her in her endeavors. Because of its recent iconic status, the song by Eilish was chosen, which was a risky decision because it attracted comparisons to the original. Harris, on the other hand, used her enormous expertise as a performer to create something that was uniquely hers. Harris, a seasoned performer with a record that includes performing with Postmodern Jukebox, singing backup for Teddy Swims, and publishing her own albums, such as Stylish in 2024, brought a level of maturity to the stage that very few of her opponents were able to match. Her expertise in jazz, which she refined at Booker T. Washington Performing Arts High School and via performances with Grammy-winning artists like Herbie Hancock, provided her with the tools necessary to rethink the song from a new point of view. Harris was visibly moved by Legend's words, who has been a mentor to her ever since her audition. Numerous fans were taken aback by his choice to eliminate Harris, BD.U, and Ari Camille from the live shows, while simultaneously promoting Renzo and Bryson Battle to the live shows. They believed that Harris' performance was worthy of a slot. The praise that Legend offered, on the other hand, was unequivocal. Olivia, that was extremely impressive. His remarks emphasized her capacity to imbue each note with meaning, a characteristic that has been the defining characteristic of her journey on The Voice. Fans were given reason to believe that Harris would make a comeback for the live shows after the announcement of the Super Safe twist, which would allow each coach to bring back one artist who had been ousted from the competition. When she is not performing, Harris's journey is just as captivating as her performances. She started singing when she was 5 years old, and she gave a performance of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star at the Texas State Fair. She was raised in a musical family. Her approach to music has been molded by her enthusiasm for narrative, which is present in both her songwriting and acting roles, including a particularly noteworthy performance in the independent film, The Playroom, which was released in 2012. Being on stage, I feel like it's my purpose in life, she said on The Voice, highlighting the emotional implications of the battle. She has been frank about the emotional stakes of the competition. The performance she gave in the playoffs was the culmination of that mission. It was a moment in which her previous hardships and victories arrived together. An electric response was received from the audience, with reviews on social media describing Harris' performance as heart-wrenching and a career-defining moment. Olivia's jazz touch on Billy's song was pure magic, according to one user, who applauded her for catching the core of the song, while also adding her own unique flair to it. The decision to let her lead was a poor one for Legend. The performance was also well received by those who are aware with Harris' more extensive career, which includes her work with the girl group Dear Ivy, as well as her upcoming musical with the San Francisco Bay Area Theater Company. For Harris, the playoffs provide an opportunity to demonstrate that jazz, which is sometimes disregarded in mainstream competitions, can be represented on a stage such as that of The Voice. By demonstrating that nuance and emotional truth can be just as powerful as strong vocals or pop choruses, her performance challenged the belief that only pop anthems or powerhouse voices alone can make an effect. Harris drew spectators inside her universe, which is a place where hope and skepticism coexist, as she was standing in the spotlight and delivering lines such as, "Think I forgot how to be happy." A glimpse of hope is provided by the Super Save, despite the fact that her elimination was a cruel blow. There is no doubt that Harris' rendition of What Was I Made For will remain a highlight of Season 27, regardless of whether or not she eventually returns. From high school jazz ensembles to worldwide tours, it served as a reminder of the reasons why she has pursued music for the past 15 years. The fact that she was able to exhibit vulnerability and expose her innermost thoughts through Eilish's lyrics established her as an artist who has the ability to endure. As The Voice comes closer to its live shows, Harris' legacy is assured. She is a storyteller, she is a risk taker, and she has a voice that demands to be heard.